grammar school. We correct your life, not your words. Karen screaming at the sidewalk, drunks doing zigzags on the curb. Never bring a date to a roadside debate. Not cool to drive straight through a parade. No sex, no smoke on that card zoom, fool. Jesus fell, bounced back, now he's watching you. Grady Judd cuffing up the Florida man. Tinder date sees it all. Grammar school, we put you back.
And it's hot.
Choices on the big screen.
Okay.
What's up, dude?
Oh, nothing. Living the dream.
How's everybody doing tonight?
Let me mute my other screen. Okay. I'm hearing the intro twice.
K-Bar and I were hanging out a minute ago, and we just made the stream so much better. We'll show you guys in about 10 video minutes, which for us is probably gonna be like 45 minutes. This one's late for me, not for you, but
yeah, no, this is right on time for me.
it looks like you had some visitors in the chat about 8 hours ago.
Oh yeah, people race to be number one, and then the real BSBT tries to sneak something in before anyone sees it.
Oh man, I'm kind of surprised you don't block them. It's funny. Go ahead.
No, the last time I tried to block him and not talk about him, he showed up to my house. So I'm just gonna let him not be blocked.
Oh, dude, was that the Tupperware thing?
No, it was the time before that.
Oh, geez, I saw that. I saw the Tupperware thing. Oh man.
Oh,
all
yeah.
right, dude.
And he did it right as I was ending a stream, so I wasn't like out there.
Yeah. Does he live close to you?
No, he lives in a completely different state, and he doesn't have a car or a driver's license.
What the fuck? Oh man, this is why I don't do. I don't even know if you call him an auditor, but this is why I don't cover auditors. Oh man! All right, guys. Well, we've got David Windmiller, aka the Postmaster, aka what did I call him in the? What did I title him on the stream? The
Postmaster, I think.
That's
mine.
The Postmaster, the King of Hawaii. Oh, you know what, you guys? This might help you get some reference on David Windmiller. If you're watching from a computer, type in David Windmiller in Wikipedia, and it'll be a lot easier to follow along because this guy's got so much shit, it's impossible to follow. So I'm going to start with a 9-hour video, but I'm only going to play the first 10 minutes of it. In those first 10 minutes, it'll tell you what the last 8+ hours is going to look like if you decide to go back and watch it later. You ready? I don't know if I'm ready.
Oh, I'm always ready. I live for stupid sovereign citizen shit.
Shit. Oh, this guy. Oh, by the way, he's not alive anymore, in case you guys are curious.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Well, as you know, my name is David Windmiller, but I punctuate my name. George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, Abraham Lincoln, Benjamin Franklin, all punctuated the name same as I did. They were all 34-degree Master Masons. Now, I don't know if there's any Masons in the crowd, but I am a 92nd degree Mason. I know you've been taught that Masonry goes to 33 and 34 degrees for Grand Masters. The reason I'm a 92nd degree Mason is because in 1988 I broke the math interface in all 5,000 languages, proving that language is a linear equation in algebra. This hasn't been done in 8,500 years of written language.
I mean, that just gives us a lot right there.
So there's 33 or 34 ranks, and he just is like a 92nd because he said so. That's what I got from that.
And that's his thing because he said so. And yeah, I mean, most of the things that he's going to say is because he said so. But yeah, 92nd degree Freemason when the highest level is what, 34 degree?
Yeah, you probably don't know who Chris Ryder is. He's a fraud or dry cover. He
Yeah,
lives off the saying. He lives off the saying, "Trust me, bro." This must be where he got it from.
Oh, and then he's gonna say the word "says" a lot, like "I says," just to give you a heads up on that one. By the way, he's going to talk a lot about quantum grammar. It has nothing to do with the English grammar that you and I know. So, like I said, 10 minutes of this guy's going to give us a lot.
When I did so, I was able to unlock the 2/3 of all the words missing from all languages in the world, and I can write any sentence in any language, frontwards and backwards, with the same meaning. Once this was discovered, it completely, 48 hours after I published on the internet, I had 2 Secret Service agents from Washington at my front door going, "Do you realize what you've done? You've just disqualified every treaty, trust, and contract in 8,500 years on planet Earth." I says, "Well..."
I don't think that
he
happened.
says, "Who did you tell?" I says, "Everyone."
Disqualified every contract, treaty, trust in the world.
Yeah, I don't think that happened. I don't think he can write any sentence in any language forward and backwards. I can't even name that many languages.
No, and I'm not going to lie. I tried to understand this, which was a mistake to start off with. But
yeah, you fell into the same trap I did. When I started this, I'm like, you know what? I'm going to go into this open-minded and try to actually understand and find any facts from their logic. And then you realize that 9 times out of 10, it's like a meth-fueled, I've been up for, 96-hour rant about nothing.
He uses this thing called quantum grammar. Basically, in his world, he's transferring the written language into math, essentially. So he's basically saying that all language is a math code, and thus there's a derivative in every language, and that's about as far as I want to understand it. I mean, he will get into verbs, adverbs, and explain all that shit, but
and some sovereign citizens even now, they'll use like bits and pieces of what he's said or what he was trying to say in their scripts. And every once in a while, like especially in court, you'll catch it and go, I've heard that from somewhere. Ta-da, this is the guy.
Yeah. And I promise, if you guys haven't tied him to SovSit yet, you'll get there. Oh man, we'll get there.
For public safety, I believe this is along the lines of the fake BSBT. There's now a fake for public safety for $2. K4, I know the law. Trust me, bro. Exactly.
Oh man. See, I don't even know who. Yeah, no, you're gonna have to explain those ones to me later. Thank you so much for the super chat for public safety.
It says I sent out 100 videos, 20 hours long, including a 100-page report on the entire studies to all nations of the United Nations and over 100 TV and news agencies around the United States. By doing that, I protected myself, because when you have a secret that is so profound that it would disqualify planet Earth, it would cause you to get shot. And at every seminar, by the end of the seminar, there's always a dozen people that walk up to you and say, "Why are you still walking around?" Well, as Pandora, destroyer of worlds. Now, you might think that that's a bad thing. The word destroyer, DE means no, and stroy is contract. Of is an adverb which connects to a pronoun in front of it. PRO means no, NO means no, and UN means no. So the word destroyer is a no word. Of is an adverb, ADV. It's a modifier. Modifiers connect the pronouns in front of it and modify the verb after it. Modification is change, change is motion, motion is action, and action is verb. Therefore, the word world becomes a verb. Do you live in a world of verb, or do you live in a world of a fact? As you all know, the word world is a fact. But because it's the destroyer of verb, I destroyed the world of verb in all 5,000 languages worldwide on April 6th, 1988. And so with that said, how did this come about? Well, in 1980, I went through a divorce. And in the divorce, Judge Stanley Miller said, you cannot be a father to your children. And he took away my children. I'm going, why would you do that? I've been a good father for 10 years. And he goes, because I'm a judge, he says, and I can take away people's children just because I can. I says, well, that's sex discrimination. Under the 1964 Civil Rights Act for equality, I says, I'm going to prosecute you. And he says, you can't prosecute judges. He says, begging the difference. I says, I know what the law is. You swore to support the Constitution of the United States and the laws written by the United States Congress, Senate, and Legislature. I says, that includes equality. I says, if I don't have equality, that's discrimination. Pretty simple. So I prosecuted Judge Stanley Miller in 1980, and he was disbarred as a judge. 7 years later, Stanley Miller got reappointed again. 2 weeks later, after he was reappointed,
1 sec.
I showed up in his courtroom, had him disbarred again.
Is there any, personally, if I did any of these things that like sovereign citizens claim, I would carry it around with me on a fucking 24 by 36 poster board just to show people. Or like these sovereign citizens were like, oh, I've won X amount of cases. I would carry that piece of paper folded up in my pocket to show the world.
Oh yeah, absolutely. And then you would probably publish the cases. The idea for this stream, and I know David Windmiller's been around since long before I even thought of starting a YouTube channel. Do you remember that Sovsit Air Force colonel from last year?
Oh, yeah. Yep, absolutely.
Now, for the life of me, I've gone back and watched that 4 more times to try. Somewhere in there, she references this guy, right? Not by name, but either the judge of judges or the postmaster or something. She makes some sort of reference to this guy. And then one of my mods went in and said, oh, that's this guy. And then she sends me 59 videos of this guy. Oh, man. And then I go down this freaking rabbit hole thinking I'm going to stream him for months. But yeah, so now we've got the postmaster or the postmaster or the head of the federal poster court. He is the judge of judges. He's the inventor of quantum grammar. He is one of the Pandoras. He's got a 90-second. Yeah. And somewhere in this 9-hour video, he talks about the whole Pandora thing. I'll try to touch on it after this, but there's one I'm missing. Oh yeah, the 92nd degree Freemason. So that's where we're at so far, and we're only 4 minutes into this video.
4 days later, because 7 years later, 1994, got reappointed again. And I showed up in his courtroom 2 weeks after he got reappointed. Had him disbarred a third time. 3 years later, he died in 1997. And never served much on the...
Sorry. I got to catch this before it... Sorry, Mary. I didn't miss it, but I almost missed it. I know a lot, too. Unfortunately, I usually learn it the hard way. We need some video, Mayor. Thank you so much for the super chat. I really appreciate it.
Bench. Always was an administrator, but never a judge. As a result of that...
Hold on, we got to do this one too. I think this is on your side.
Oh my Lord.
Damn.
ATB Films gifted 50 KFAR memberships. I'm just going to take that win for a second. I appreciate it. And for everyone who just got a new membership, welcome.
Yeah, I got to do something.
There's a video for you to watch already.
That's freaking awesome, dude. I don't know you, ATB, but I'm going to give you something. Oh, you know what? I know exactly what to do for you. Just an 8 seconds of entertainment, real quick.
Solid.
That's one of my new favorites.
When the judge took away my children, that violation, that breaking of my heart, put me on a path. That path was anger. You don't take away a parent's child. And the pain that caused, pain makes thought, thought makes wisdom, and wisdom grows to maturity. So as a result of that pain,
Okay, pause real quick.
I started studying.
This is getting out of hand. So you know those like cult leaders that are like moderately intelligent
Uh-huh.
and they just pick on people a lot dumber than them?
Yeah.
That's this guy. Like in a nutshell. Like even it seems like he's trying to stumble on his words and like make things up as he goes that like sound smart, but if like a normal person thinks about it, you're just like, no, that's not how that works. And this you see this, I'm trying to, what am I looking for? You see this type of fall from a normal person regularly where they will go to court doesn't go their way. So then they go, I'm going to be a sovereign citizen now. I now have a chip on my shoulder and I want to hurt someone in the government. And this time it's like, oh yeah, I got my kids taken away. And it's like, no, dude, more than likely you got, you had to pay child support and you got split custody and you didn't like that.
Yeah, I mean, he basically just said, I'm coming out of one of the darkest periods of my life, and then boom, I control the world. Do you remember that? Do you follow Cam, Power Inherit the People Cam?
Of course. The attorney in fact.
The attorney in fact. Cam's got, had, I should say, no longer it seems like, a series of followers of his in Butler County, Kansas.
Yep.
One of them, her last name is Leslie, and I know it doesn't make this Leslie happy every time I say it. She hooked on to Cam after she lost her kids. And I know this because there's like a 4-hour soft sit seminar on his page that explains that. So
I know exactly who you're talking about because I've covered those court cases. One guy was like suited up. I think he's in jail. She started trying to do the whole sovereign citizen thing, realized it wasn't working out too well, and is like, I need an attorney. But let's just say someone I'm friends with who's a YouTuber sent me a link to his, it was actually a Zoom meeting of his with all of his all of his little goons.
Oh, I know who sent you the link too.
And it took all I had not to click the link. It took all I had.
You know what? I'm going to ask him for the link next time. I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah, it was like a 6:00 Zoom thing, and I'm like, yeah, I have things going on at 6:00, but I can cut them short.
Just make sure if you ever jump into one of those, you start off by saying, I think you got to put your hands up like this and say Grand Rising. That's how they start.
How many super chats did you get? Did you cover them all?
No.
Super chats, memberships.
Yeah, Leslie from NC, Leslie G from NC. Thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships. You are so awesome. I might have to just throw a bunch of people throw this guy into the hedge a bunch of times tonight. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much, Leslie. Lynn from TX. Thank you so much, Lynn. I really appreciate it. Also with the 20 freaking gifted grammar school memberships. My channel is tiny, so we're on the verge of having everybody become a member. Everybody's going to be green at grammar school. I really appreciate you guys. Leslie and Lynn are also mods on my channel, and they are so good to me. And then also Leslie for the $10 super chat. Thanks to Grammar School and KFAR for the stream. No, thank you guys for coming to watch us. I really appreciate it. Let me throw this guy in the hedge real quick one more time. I was like, I could, feed the dog some treats, but that guy's fun to watch too.
I don't even have any dogs in here today. They're all off doing their own thing. Hard Truth for $4.99. Let me read this and censor it where I need to censor it. Actually, you know what? I'm just going to read it in its entirety. We're grown-ups. K-Far, I'm glad to see you and a few others stay original and not sell out to people who fuck you over. Know what I mean? Cheers, homie. I appreciate it. I appreciate it.
Hold on. Yeah, no, let's throw him in the hedge. I'm sorry, I just like that one too much.
Now, we go through three phases in life. You do not know what you do not know. Well, it's like putting your hand in fire. It looks pretty till you touch it and you get burnt. Well, you know what you don't know about why you got burnt. And I was aware of what I didn't know, so I had to study. And so because I studied, I learned about what the fire was. I learned about what the pain was. And from that, I then had knowledge. And when I had knowledge, I knew what I knew. And then I could become a teacher. In 1975, I became a college professor in Milwaukee. And I was taught engineering and metallurgy, heat treating, and blueprint reading. So I've been a teacher now 75, so going on 38 years. I hold a professional license for college. I also have 3 PhDs and 535 college credits, 17 full-time years of college. Kind of got stuck in college. I really liked it. I worked third shift nights as a tool and die welder, and I went to school full-time days. I had but to fill in my spare time because I didn't sleep, I went ahead and had a second full-time job, and that was in real estate, teaching underwater welding. I had my own real estate company for 26 years, besides doing law from 1980 to present time, 32 years. I have 80,000 hours of law experience.
So is he actually an attorney?
I've done 20.
There's no freaking way. Somewhere in this 9 hours, he talks about the stuff in this Wikipedia page is correct. So no, I don't think he's an attorney. But he is an attorney in the same way that Cam is, and I'll show you that doc. I'll show everybody that doc I showed you. He does help people with their legal stuff.
So he's an attorney in fact, which means he's in fact not an attorney.
He's in fact.
I got 80,000 hours of law experience. So does Daryl Brooks. Doesn't make him an attorney.
Oh God, Daryl freaking Brooks.
He still gets recommended to me after almost every video. Yeah,
that's one guy I'm just gonna let lie in a dark hole and never play that dude ever.
It was, if you had to be there. You had to be there while that was live, because that was the thing to watch for weeks. Him hiding behind his box fort, wanting to not talk. It was good times.
I think I watched most of it on Mike's channel. I think that there was, I won't even reference it. There's one part where I just I can't watch this anymore, and it was talking about some specifics of the people he ran over. But yeah, that was messed up.
I had a great time when he wanted to talk about his baby mama and wanted her on the stand, and the what was it? One of the prosecutors like, well, if you bring her up, we're gonna have to let everyone know you're on the registry.
Yeah, God, and I remember, and then I came back to it. And I remember the line of victims and witnesses that wanted to make a statement, and how they allocated 2 or 3 days for that. Hard Truth. He's the guy that drove through a parade and just kept driving through people.
What was his rap name? I want to say it was Math Boy Fly. Math Boy Fly.
Dick Flute Daryl.
Yep, sure shit. Why I remember his rap name, I don't know.
Oh, jeez.
That's the stupid information that gets stuck in my head.
Well, now I kind of want to find that stuff.
Oh, it's not good. It's typical SoundCloud stuff. It's not good. But his mom's escape that he used in the murdering of people made an appearance in his music videos.
Shit, now I know I'm gonna watch it. Okay. All right, we're 6 minutes into this 10-minute section.
2,500 seminars, including over 1,000 TV and radio live performances. I did the programs on 9/11 on national television on what really happened there. There's only a few people in the world that have my background and credentials about what heat treating is, nuclear science, string theories, and quantum physics. I have a 200 IQ. I read 400 words a second in math.
Yeah.
400 words a second, he says.
200 IQ. There's I know a lot of people who can read real fast, but the 200 IQ part.
Yeah, I can read real fast, but 400 words a second might be pushing it. It's like this guy and then Superman right behind him.
Yeah, let me see if my Wikipedia has a word counter. Yeah. I mean, life is easy when you just make up a bunch of facts about yourself.
Codes.
Yeah, you're not wrong. It's the trust me, bro thing times 1,000 right there. If somebody would have just been like, "You sure about that?" Like, Einstein was 161, but this guy's 200. Watch out, Ryan.
Yeah,
He'll melt you with his thoughts.
Technically, Einstein wouldn't qualify for some modern Mensa chapters, which is ridiculous. But man, 200. I don't even think it scores up that high, but like I said, life's easy when you make up facts about yourself.
Yeah.
It's something that's acquired art. You can give me an inch of paper and of documents, and I'll blow through it.
Yeah, it goes above 200.
And I'll be able to tell you exactly about how many mistakes are in it and what to do about it. The program today is going to cover many different aspects. So I'm going to go through the parts of speech, which I wrote up here. It took 6 years of my life to discover this. It isn't really what you think it is. And what they teach you in school is not what you actually is actually what's going on.
Sorry, I got to plug myself real quick because I realize there's a lot of people on your side that don't even know me. So come check out my channel. It's called Grammar School. It has really nothing to do with grammar other than making fun of people saying the word axe over and over and over and over again. I'll put somebody will put a link up here somewhere. Oh, there it is. See, Erica's just way ahead of me all the time. Thanks, Erica. All right. Sorry, I had to do it.
And this isn't to insult anybody, but all of you have a second grade reading level. And it isn't just you, it's the entire population of the planet was instructed and through TV, radio, newspapers, and magazines to keep you in a second grade reading level, because that way they could harvest the entire population of the planet. There's a few individuals called federal judges and chief federal judges at a state level that control what's called parsing, syntax, grammar, and the secrets therein. When I broke the code in 1988, I went to the United States Supreme Court and walked in there in 1989, and I says, I'm here to prosecute William Rehnquist, Chief Supreme Court Justice of the United States Supreme Court. Immediately I was arrested for threatening the United States Supreme Court judge and taken into a closed room. Well, when we got down in that room, I had 6 marshals standing shoulder to shoulder surround me, and William Rehnquist came down from up in his chambers to see me, and I says, I have your signed confession for treason against the United States people.
The I says,
I've used parsing, syntax, grammar against your opinion since you've been in office. He says, okay, guys, you can all leave now. Mr. Miller and I are going to sit in this closed room. You've already frisked him. He has no weapons. He doesn't seem to be of stature that can overpower me. And we're going to have a little discussion. So for the next 2.5 hours, William Rehnquist and I became very good friends. And for
I don't think any
until
of this
he
happened.
died, and I removed him from office.
Sorry.
I don't think any of that happened.
No.
You think that would be I'm assuming this was back in the day. I think it was like 2012, I think it said.
Yeah. Yes. Right around there. Almost. Yeah. Exactly.
If anything happened between, I think he keeps saying 1988 and 2012, anything that has to do with the Supreme Court, I'm pretty sure every news outlet would cover some random crazy guy trying to prosecute the chief judge of the Supreme Court for treason. I'm pretty sure that would have made the news.
Yeah. I wonder how does he book these freaking seminars? Like, I guess he probably just advertises the people that, I mean, YouTube's not, in 2012, YouTube was not what it is today.
No, absolutely.
And if he, unlike Jerry freaking Kane, he actually sells out these seminars everywhere he goes. Oh man. I don't know. This is just crazy. He's got, oh man. Well, we'll get into how big his following it gets and how it's passed on from this point too.
In June of 2005, we were pretty good friends. I taught him syntax, the math interface on grammar, and he taught me all the secrets of the procedures of judges. But a lot of the things he taught me, he was in error of, because two-thirds of all the words were missing from the procedures by which he wanted to formulate answers. Now, believe it or not, we are all actors in a play that have been already written. All of you believe that you have a certain amount of choice to make in life. But the fact is, and I will do this later this afternoon when we get into some history programs, that we are on timetables that run on 7-year international, on domestic bankruptcies and 70-year international bankruptcies. These bankruptcies control the planet for the last 6,500 years in all countries. All countries worldwide are controlled by the post office. Not the courts, not the judges, not the kings and queens, but the postmasters of the world run the entire planet.
Brother to watch, I have no idea. I heard somebody say it was like $300, but then I've heard 30, so I have no idea. I was actually trying to find that. Shit.
So, when did this movie come out? Hold on. When did this movie come out? I'm curious now. Oh,
Which one?
1997. The Postman with Kevin Costner. He's like taking that the postmasters are like the greatest human beings to ever live, and he's just running with it.
Yeah, pretty much. And the way he explains it is the postmaster runs every country in the entire world, right? So when there's a war, it's basically one postmaster getting mad at another one. And the way he would explain it in the US is basically you still have a president, but that a president somehow appoints the postmaster, which, that makes sense. And the way I look at it would be the postmaster would essentially be like the attorney general, but above the president and the attorney general. I don't know if anybody's ever looked at an org chart of the U.S. government, but it's a mess, especially when you get over to the DOJ. But there's like this apex that he's trying to create. And so a war between two countries is just two pissed off postmen, basically. That's how
Which is wild, because in the grand scheme, the president probably either has talked to the chief postmaster of the entire postal service like one time or not at all. But they're controlling the world, I tell you.
They're controlling the world, but they're not necessarily above the level of the 5 Pandora people, which I won't even get into tonight. But, well, maybe I'll just touch on it for a second. I think I've got like a minute left of this, and then we got the Moors coming up pretty soon.
Have for 6,700 years. Going all the way back to
Less
Pharaoh.
than a minute.
Henceforth, the Masons. Now, a lot of you we're in this room today. A room is a closed area, so therefore it's a court. I'm going to show you a dollar bill here, which you're all familiar with.
All right, that's all I wanted to play. Any closed room is a court. I'm in a court right now.
I was about to say, I'm in a court. You're in a court. My house is a court.
All right, so
that may have been the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I've heard some dumb things, but that may have taken the cake.
there's 9 hours of this. 9 freaking hours. We played 10 minutes, 52 seconds.
I just want to say, I've streamed. I talk for a living at this point.
Yeah.
I think I've streamed for 6 hours with like 5 other people, so it wasn't just me talking. And even that, I was dead after. My voice was shitting out on me. I couldn't imagine talking like this for 9 hours.
9 freaking hours. 9 hours. Dude.
Of legitimate nonsense.
Yes. And so there's so he goes on to talk about time travel, right? And he says that the world has a series of nuclear arms, but they'll never be fired off because people from the future will come back to the past to take out the people who can push the buttons. He says that at some point. I started making notes, and I felt dirty for writing these notes because I was like, "Oh man, I'm going to get on an FBI watch list just for taking notes on this."
Heaven forbid you like pass away one day and they're cleaning out your room. Like, who the fuck was this guy?
Yeah. Oh, okay. So I'm going to read what I wrote. And if somebody finds this in the future, they're going to be like, all right, it's a good thing this guy's gone. Yeah, he talks about how
crazy.
Yeah. So he talks about how they still use postage, right? So, but anything sent to another country has to have legal postage, which includes bombs. So he talked about the bombs that hit Nagasaki and Hiroshima had stamps on them, which actually I've kind of heard is true, but I guarantee they didn't put freaking stamps on everything. What else did I write down? He's filed judgments against all kinds of courts and people, eventually to end up in court to have a real judge shoot it back down. He said that Benjamin Franklin started the Federal Postal Court in 1775, which he brought back in like 2006-ish.
And he gave him the authority to bring that back. Asking for a friend.
Yeah, asking for a friend. Katie Zed did. She was around in 2006, maybe. What's up, Katie? look at Kate for our shirt.
KTZ Booze and Body Cam shirt. How you doing?
Yeah, make sure you guys check out Katie's channel and Booze and Body Cams. You guys, I guarantee you already know it. He was the king of Hawaii. King of Hawaii.
Who elected him king of Hawaii? Did he just say, "Trust me, bro," and just take it over?
Pretty much. I think the way he explains it was the last king. I'm going to butcher his name, Maya. The last king of Hawaii basically said something along the lines of, if property is left unclaimed for 20 years, and I think maybe he says he claimed it. So he was the king of Hawaii. Earth is a vessel flying through space, not necessarily orbiting the sun. He talks about the World Trade Center a lot. I won't get into it because that'll just spark up all kinds of shit.
Well, speaking of that, Java Man just reminded me that people were mad that I didn't serve in the war in Iraq in the early 2000s when I was in the 5th grade. So, yes. I also missed the War of 1812. KTZ was there.
And none of us got a say in the Civil War or the Mexican-American War or shit. World War One, I heard was a party.
Cain and Abel. Cain and Abel. Missed that one. I missed all the good ones.
I think is this one on my side? It is on my side. Hard Truth. K-Far, I'm glad to see you. And if you others stay original and not sell out to people who fuck you over, you know what I mean?
You got that one already.
Oh, sorry. No, sorry. There's another one. My bad. Oh, wait, hold on. I think this one's on your side. Is it? It gets confusing. We're using two different streamers on the same. Okay.
On mine. My rap name is Meth Man Mike. I believe it.
By the way, I love the screen name. This is the one I meant to click on. Grammar School. I will give you a follow. Cheers, homie. Now roll that beautiful hedge fund. You know what? I've got a Brenda clip too, but let's play the hedge real quick. Actually, I got to do Brenda because you're familiar, Brenda, and we're a little further in the schedule than I thought we would.
All right, Brandon, this is your warning. 2997 from 2970.
My two favorite bits ever.
I haven't seen that one in a long time. Oh.
It's probably when I did you guys' show.
Oh, probably. That was a hot minute.
All right. So before the stream, K-Far and I were comparing some notes. Let me see let me pull up yours real quick. I have an example of a legal document from the quantum grammar world of David Windmiller. And apparently K-Far was sent one as well, or a version of one. So let's see. Wait, hold on. I can put that out there, right?
Yeah, you're good.
Okay.
that's my old address, and everybody knows my name.
I was like, shit, there might be stuff on there.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, so this is Kareem Bey sent me one, and what I did was just delete what he wrote, mixed around a few words, and sent him a better one back.
Now, do you think that's ink or bloody thumbprint?
Oh, that was me. I pulled I put random red thumbprint into Google and threw that on there.
So he'd send you a cease and desist. You just send it right back. Oh shit! I was on the wrong chat. This is the one that I found on David Windmiller's page. This one is signed by I guess I would call it the postal judge. 3 witnesses. Every one of them has, and it looks like an ink thumbprint. Mm-hmm. But then there's the picture of the person. And then there's actual blood. There's hair. And I'm guessing saliva is on there too, because it says the word saliva, but it says blood/saliva. So I guess it could be either or. I'm betting on both though.
That's just so fucking weird. Because I don't want that in the mail. I don't want that handed to me with your blood and hair on it. If you flipped it over, there's probably a DNA, blood, saliva, semen sample on the back. The back of the page is probably a little sticky if you catch my drift. I don't need that. I don't need that handed to me.
That's how they seal it. Oh, they sign the stamps too. I forgot about that. That's part of it. Dude, as soon as I said that's how they seal the envelope, I had to move myself past it right away. Oh man.
The territory of LSSR. What?
I wish you could make this larger.
The more I look at it, the more confused I get. 3 witnesses of this live.
Oh, I see it. Flag of the vessel.
It's just funny because I sent that guy one that was completely bullshit, and I was just trying to make it sound dumb. But these people made it sound even dumber, but they actually believe it.
Right, and yours actually has words that explains things. Even though
it has been determined that you are currently committing libel/other shenanigans. These are legal terms, people. You don't understand.
Oh man, and the amount of capitalizations on there. Now you start to see where these soft states start to mix and match shit. Other shenanigans.
Whatever sounds the best for them.
Oh God. David Windmiller passed away in 2018, so we can't make fun of him to his face. But he had a large following. Wait, hold on. Hold on. I completely forgot. I got a couple other clips real quick. Hold on.
So
let me
tried this in the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And he died in 2018. And people were asking him, "Oh, how are you still alive?" If he lived another 30 years, I'm pretty sure what he was saying was bullshit. It's going to throw that out there.
Yeah. Let me time to today's soft sits a little bit more.
Again, explain again your plate.
I used this in the thumbnail.
Okay, so here's how I became it. Okay, so first of all, the Truth in Lending Act, there's a thing called Regulation Z of the Truth in Lending Act. This represents Regulation Z. It means I have a right to cancel contract within 3 days or refuse contract pursuant to Regulation Z. These are called Z plates. See, there's a Z on the bottom, okay? This flag is a civil flag of peace. It means self-government by the people. That's what it means. This seal is a seal of the original 13 colonies of America, okay, which the United States Corporation stole from America and incorporated into their government. Okay, it's actually our seal by and for the people. This is for the people, a flag for the people. This is our right to refuse contract with police. This is my nationality. I'm a national. I'm Minnesotan, okay, just like you are. I'm Minnesota national, okay? And here's how you get your Minnesota nationality in a nutshell. You write the State Department and say, I want to be a national, not a U.S. citizen. That's it. That's all it takes. You're a national.
What do they give you for registration paper?
You know, that was on David Windmiller's channel, but I actually don't think that was actually David Windmiller now that I think about it.
Can I talk about this for like 3 seconds?
Yeah.
The Regulation Z.
Yeah.
So it took me a whole 3 seconds to look this up. It is a federal regulation that implements Truth in Lending Act of 1968, a law designed to promote the informed use of customer credit by requiring clear and uniform disclosure of credit terms. Last I checked, that has nothing to do with canceling contracts. I see here it's also to prevent predatory lending and ensuring that customers can compare credit offers knowledgeably by standardizing how costs are calculated and presented. And nothing to do with just saying, I don't need no registration for my car. I can't wear this fez. I have too much hair to wear the fez now.
Colin points out something that I completely overlooked was the fact that they're in Minnesota and yet a Wisconsin plate. A lot of times I see these videos and my head just starts ringing, so I don't catch the small stuff like that. But yeah, good catch there. Oh, let's see what else. I had a few short ones in here. Let me see. Oh wait, no, we did the 92nd degree Mason. Yeah, you know what? I think I'll call it. No, you know what? I got one on the flags. Where's the flags one?
Next thing I want to show you about this flag here is when you have a 3x4 shaped flag, that's a boat flag. Now pay attention to the field. The field here is 3x4. That's contract. When it's square, those are military. If you have a this is a 12x17. That's a military base flag. It'll look like a contract flag, but it's really a military base flag. And this is the ones that you see on top of your courthouses, because and if they put a ball on top of the court to your flagpole, they're advertising for the draft and advertising for the military. If they have a spear on top of your flagpole, it's for military court martials. So anytime you walk into a state court and you have a spear on top of the state flag, they may take the federal flag out and just use the state flag, but you're not in the military. So they're declaring a military court martial. Because now you're no longer in North Carolina, you're in a foreign vessel in dry dock, which is a military vessel. That's why they have police officers, they're military, in the courtroom. Then your
Question. Being someone who was in the military and was at one point in a dry dock, that's not how that works. A building's not a ship in dry dock. Like, that's not how it works.
I got nothing.
eagle is used only for the president of the United States. If it swings her this way, if they're this way, it's postal, and if it's this way, it's Vatican banking.
He's like one of those
Pay
used
attention
car
to the
salesman
shapes.
noodle guys.
And then that haircut add-on makes it so much better.
And ornaments that are on flags. There's 11 flags in the United States.
All right, that's the whole thing on that one.
I'm just like, yeah, so I was on an aircraft carrier. Some of you guys know this already. For the dry dock, you literally go from the ocean or whatever. They pull you into a little thing, they close a big door behind you, and then they start pumping out the water. And then soon you look down and it's like, oh, it's completely empty. That's a dry dock, not a courthouse that's never been on the water. That just hurt my brain.
There's one of those pictures showed the American flag with like the gold fringe around it. Apparently that cancels out the flag altogether. So if it's in a court, the court's not valid. So before I forgot, I had a couple shorts of him. I was going to say he died in 2018, but he had a following. And I just realized the flag transition is so perfect for this. One of his followers, I guess you would call it, is another very well-known sovereign citizen.
A very well-known village idiot.
Yeah. And I think this is like a 1 or 2 minute video.
I'm no longer authorizing the United States military to put Title IV flags on coffins for the dead postal soldiers. Something is wrong.
Postal soldiers.
I have not authorized the U.S. military to go to war in the Middle East. And they are flying my flag on their foreign vessels in locations that are more than 300 miles off our North American continent. And when postal soldiers become lifeless and die, they go into a foreign vessel known as a casket. And that casket, they put my flag over the top of the casket. When you see the correct flag, it doesn't have yellow fringe on it. And it has correct dimensions under compliance with Title IV, Section 1, 2, and 3, 1 to 1.9 ratios. I'm no longer authorizing the United States military to put Title IV flags.
Did it just restart?
There is no war in the Middle East.
Oh.
Your theologies are polytheistic at best. Come home. My volition for doing this is quite fascinating. I have a dear friend of mine was a
I don't know if
SEAL.
fascinating is the right word.
Lived it.
Yeah.
Is one. And I took him hunting with me. I brought him into my home. Hung out with him. This man cannot sleep.
All right, that's a little. So, Mr. Gold, or I already forgot his first name, is basically the new postmaster, and he's saying that he has the rights to all the American flags, and thus he controls the United States. I thought he was from Australia, but maybe not. He's got another guy in Australia.
I've seen a bunch of that guy's videos where he's like trying to say that his court, he's the chief judge of his court, which is over the Supreme Court. And he tries to send shit to the Supreme Court all the time. And they're just like, bro, who the fuck are you? And he just hasn't gotten the hint yet.
Which is funny because when they, you know what? I just realized I got another picture in here. Hold on. Where is it? It doesn't really matter. As far as sending stuff, or somebody sends them stuff and they send it back. Oh, where's that folder? Sorry. Oh, come on. Yeah, it doesn't really matter. Well, anyway, that's David Windmiller, who I think is going to take a long, long, long time to weed out his bullshit, if it ever gets weeded out. Yeah, I mean, like I said, check out his Wikipedia or not. I mean, it doesn't really matter, and it's a very, very large Wikipedia page full of all the things that he calls himself, all the things that he's done. And
I imagine it's like a Game of Thrones Daenerys Targaryen set of fucking titles that he calls himself.
Yeah. I mean, this dude was out there like no other.
If you guys have some, extra brain cells that you want to, flush down the toilet, go check out his Wikipedia page.
Oh man. Oh, dude, right on time. All right. I wanted to do David Windmiller, and there's, like I said, I mean, that one video is just 9 hours, but there's a solid 100 hours of this dude out there. But I wanted to talk about the Moors too, and not necessarily the way that we normally talk about them, which is just generally make fun of them. Although that's what we're I plan on doing that at least. So KFAR. All right, let me rearrange my videos here real quick. KFAR put out a short the other day. I'm going to play one of your shorts. Let me dump all the David Windmiller stuff. Where did
Moors are getting... I think I told you I was looking up an old video, and it's the one where the Moorish chick at some point grabs a full-size Moroccan flag and tries to like hang it out her door. And it's just like, that's not going to work. And she tries to use that as like a way to get out of the traffic stop. And as I was typing it in, basically all of these nonsensical shorts started just popping up. And I'm like, I'm going to have to cover some of these.
Sorry. 3-year-old ran in. I was listening though. Yeah, so the one that I picked, I don't know if this is one of the ones you were just talking about, but this one.
Guys, I just want to point this out because
well, that was weird.
More York.
And the reason I picked this one out for a reason, and I don't. So by education, according to my bachelor's degrees, I'm a sociologist and an economist. And when you talk about sociology, there's at some point you might get introduced to a maxim. And so I thought this guy's post was insanely hypocritical, and I have some videos to back it up. And I could be wrong. I could be over reading this one, but I'll get into that one.
Found this while trying to find a more video for you guys.
It's weird to hear your voice twice.
NYC, a Mexum. None of those are actual places. Morocco didn't conquer America. Moors aren't what you say they are. It's definitely not More York. And yes, I muted this video. Why? Because it was some crappy rap music that I didn't want to even deal with, maybe getting copyright struck for, but this guy's an idiot. A fez is a fez is a fez. Oh, look, it doesn't take a qualification to get a fez. You can just buy them from anywhere. This guy has delusions of grandeur. He's probably a DoorDash driver who thinks he's king of More York.
I think he probably is a DoorDash driver. So the More York part's the hypocritical part. And the reason I say that is because a Mexum is kind of an anti-Moor sovereign citizen group. So I'm just wondering why he added the Mexum. And maybe I was like, maybe he's not one of the more soft sits, but the More York thing makes him seem freaking soft sit.
Yeah, he's super one.
You can make fezzes too.
It seems like for some reason, all of these sovereign citizens and all of these Moors are all like wannabe SoundCloud rappers.
Yeah. So I saw that, and then I sent you a message in Discord. I'm like, dude, try to jump on my stream, and you were like watering the plants or something. I don't remember what you're doing. Because I don't know if you've ever seen a Mexican before, but it's basically the Moorish, the Moorish Science Temple. Fuck, I'm gonna mess it up. But they have an opinion on people who take their name and turn it into this bullshit.
Yeah, I was going to say, I forgot who did the interview with this person. It was somebody from the actual Moorish Science Temple of America, and they brought him on to talk about all of this. Oh, we're Moors, we don't have to pay taxes, yada yada. And they're like, no, yeah, that goes exactly the opposite of what we like talk about and what we like believe in. It's like you have to pay taxes, you have to do this, you have to do that. But these guys are just culture vulturing their entire thing and then just making up what it means.
Yeah, and they'll take the treaty and then they'll talk about how the treaty outlines the fact that you're supposed to obey all laws. I forgot what I titled these all mess.
Oh fuck, one was a couple months ago where I literally, it wasn't like a covering a sovereign citizen. I just broke down the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Right.
What everything meant. And it's just like, you guys are reading this and then going, nah, I'm going to make it up.
No, I'm going to make it up. I'll take a little Jerry Kane, a little David Wynn Miller, and throw in some exactly. Cam. Yeah.
And it's really hard to do when there's like black and white documents that say exactly what it was and you guys just don't believe in it.
Right. But they're just going to read it the way they want to read it. Amexum is an active channel on YouTube, so I do want to give them credit. They, I don't know if they're active, but they have a channel on YouTube. It's more educational, cultural, if anything, but I wanted to play their perspective on Moorish sovereign citizens. And I think I'm gonna take like 2 minutes of each of these videos and then play another soft sit trying to steal a house, or a story on soft sits trying to steal a house.
Ever consider having a government or a nation in America that's outside of the American government?
Why? We built this country. This is our land. Our prophet Noble Gerard teaches us.
Moorish Science Temple of America.
No, we are here to stay.
Police officers still reeling from a deadly attack. 3 officers were shot and killed.
The manhunt is on for this man, a career criminal considered very armed and very dangerous.
In recent years, isolated and random incidents of violence, fraud, burglary, and squatting committed by Moorish extremists have put Moors on the radar of law enforcement nationwide.
A Newark home taken over by an alleged extremist group that not only changed the locks, but actually claimed ownership over the property.
Is the Moorish Science Temple of America a sovereign organization?
No. There is nothing in the founder's affidavit that was filed in 1928, July.
I think this is where he talks about the laws.
Nothing that say we're a sovereign organization. But what it does say what we are. It does say that we are a religious corporation. Because now on the back of that is a copy of our affidavit on the rear back. And it tells you in the top left-hand corner what type of organization we are. It says affidavit religious.
Yes, sir.
It doesn't say sovereign.
All right, that's part one. I have these videos a little bit mixed up, but they're basically a church, right?
Yeah, exactly.
And these guys are the real Moors, right? These aren't the Moors that are gonna argue traveling. These aren't the Moors that are gonna whatever, right? They're not the same shitheads you're gonna see in the courtrooms. These are the guys who, it's just a freaking church for the most part. Oversimplification maybe, but it's a church.
Yeah.
Let me see.
I love it how we're both like, oh, wait just a second. Let me Google Noble Drew Ali.
Noble Drew Ali, yes, the founder of the Moorish Science Temple. Or did they say that in the last video?
I'm not sure. Born Timothy or Thomas Drew, so he used a made-up name as well.
Yeah, no, and the El Bay thing, that still exists in the Moorish Science Temple, or just the Bay, right? The Bay doesn't necessarily have to have an L in front of it, you know. The most famous person that I know that has the name Bay is do you listen to rap music?
Occasionally.
No, occasionally. One of my favorite artists is a rapper by the name of Mos Def. He's also an actor. You might have seen him in 16 Blocks, Guardians of the Galaxy, or not Guardians of the Galaxy. Oh fuck. Oh, what the hell is that? Not the one with shit. He travels in space. Oh, this can drive me nuts. I can't think of it. Hitchhiker's Guide. There it is. Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy. His real name is Yasin Bey, and I believe he's a member of the Moorish Science Temple. And he doesn't call himself a sovereign citizen or a U.S. sovereign citizen. He basically considers himself a citizen of the world, but he's also rich. So wherever he lands, he basically lives. He's also 16 Blocks. I thought he had an amazing acting performance in that, by the way, just to not go way off the topic. But if you haven't seen 16 Blocks, you got to check it out.
So because I knew, because Noble Drew Ali, do you know anything about his death?
I think I'm mixing him up with somebody else, but no.
Yeah, so he was like the guy who founded this whole thing, and he died at age 43 in 1929 after 2 attempted coups from 2 different people in the movement, and then died like shortly after he got arrested by police for having something to do with it. One of them was the first guy split. He went to go deal with the first guy, and then a second dude split, declared himself Grand Sheik, took a bunch of people with him, and then was stabbed to death at the Moorish Science Temple hall in Chicago. And then he was arrested when he got back from dealing with the first guy for having something to do with the second guy, and then he died.
Maybe this is a lot more convoluted than I thought it was. Because they definitely, so the Safavids, they call them the rise of the Moors, which I'm sure there's a bunch of different sovereign citizen Moors, but maybe the Safavid side fought the Science Temple side.
Yeah, it's one of those definitely, oh, I got a picture in the middle and I got a bunch of red strings everywhere connecting everybody to everybody. That's how it started.
Oh man, I reserve to be wrong. The right to be wrong, and I usually am because I'm married. My wife will say that. Shit, what was this? Oh yeah, I already have it pulled up. I know I only plan on playing 2 minutes of this.
I think
or a couple of these.
You all are misunderstood because from the public.
Wait, is this the one I just played? No, this one's different. The guy in the background's a little. Hold on, let me go back. Like
the guy
like
in
a
the red
bodyguard.
vest. So he reminds me of my chat might remember this more than yours would. There was a case with a Moor in court. He showed up once, I don't think it really went well. So in his next appearance, he brought the Moorish sheriff or something, and he had like a handgun in his vest and sunglasses on and was on his phone.
Yeah.
And the guy went to bring him in, and she's like, "Who the fuck is this guy? Are you an attorney?" And he's like, no, but and she's like, yeah, go away. Just sit there. And he's just on his phone for the rest of the Zoom hearing. That's what he reminds me of. He's just there as like a showpiece.
Yeah, except the more share. You know what's funny? I think I have a video of this dude like queued up somewhere. I'm like, yeah. Oh yeah, no, I've got the Morris Sheriff queued up on my desktop, but he's a skinny little guy compared to this dude in the background. But yeah, I know exactly who you're talking about.
If you have some free time, go to some of these like websites, the Moorish American blah blah blah. They are some of the wildest websites you will ever run into. They pretend to have their own DMVs, their own Secretary of States and stuff like that. They have
usually somebody's wife.
Yeah, they'll give like speeches by their president, and they sell wild T-shirts.
Oh, this is not the best. I'll sidetrack here for a second. This is not the best video of him. This doesn't show him with his badge and stuff.
Your car is registered in one of the states of this country. We're not listening.
This is the sheriff guy. Guarantee you're talking about. This is just him talking to some government official, but I think this is who you're talking about because he's got a bunch of stuff on his channel and he's running around with a fez and a badge around his neck. And yeah, I don't know if he looked familiar, but I'm positive it's this guy.
Because from the public's perspective, you see,
I think they just showed him for a second.
I covered that first guy.
Red fez.
I covered that guy.
That guy. Yeah.
Wait, go back. Did you see Mike got into this one?
Yeah, no, just for a second. Yeah, right there. Right there. There's Mike.
Yeah, it's like I've covered this guy. I think the one guy that's sitting like in a fold-out chair, that one. I think Van Balian covered that one.
And then the very, very first one. Oh shit! It's jumping. The guy in the car. This guy. This is the sheriff guy. Yeah, he's the guy just popped up in the last one. And Van's got like 12 videos on him too, I think. And then this guy. Oh shit.
Yeah, if I remember correctly, that guy's sitting there's like selling some shit. And they're like, nah, you gotta go, bro. And that guy, that's the 36th District Court in Detroit.
Yep.
I covered that one.
People who are squatting in people's homes and claiming ownership of someone else's home under the indigenous, claimant of this is our soil. How does that make you feel when you see these folks under the appellation of Moor conducting themselves in this way?
Those people who say that they are Moors are telling the truth, because they are Moors, but they are not Moorish Americans. They are not. Moorish Americans don't do those kind of things, and it's written in our laws. We don't take people's property. We don't beat people in the head, and we're not anti-American. We're not, against America. This is not an Afrocentric organization. And for those who try to make it that way, they will pay the price.
I think that's
there are Moors across the country. We know of groups in Rhode Island and New Jersey, but neither of those groups are part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which are like the OG Moorish Americans. We came here to their headquarters to speak to the Supreme Grand Sheikh to see if he thinks these splinter groups are legit and if their practices are in line with.
All right.
That building could use a power washing.
Yeah, it's a paint. I think I mistitled one of these. Sovereign.
I wasn't really noticing any other Moors. I was basically to myself. I had friends. We was going to lectures in Detroit and getting information, but that was about it, man. I was buying packages. I done bought so many different packages. I done did Social Security Trust. I done, like I say, I done filed my declarations. And I was just doing stuff.
Declarations.
I was like, man, what did I do? I don't even understand this, but I'm doing it. So after that, I'm spending money, you know. I can't even put a total to it, man. You know, guys, you know, they charge me, what, $500 for a Social Security trust. To file the documents, I don't even remember. I think it was $28 a document, like 5 documents. Filed it in the courts. Name
Just for the court to
change.
laugh at you.
Yeah, he's paying for these seminars. He's paying for this bullshit paperwork. He's paying money. I mean, what? How much is a bad speeding ticket? Like, let's say 20 over. I won't. You know, I know.
A couple $100.
Okay, and he's paying $400 to.
Yeah, and he just said he paid $500 for a packet.
Yeah,
and he said he's bought so many packages. Like, stop it! I don't know what I'm doing, but I'm still filing it. That should be a red flag.
Yeah, and he's probably paying for these seminars. I know, for example, like Cam has a Cam's channel, or I don't know if his channel, but Cam has a how to get out of a ticket type of packet. I forgot what it's called, but who knows how much those cost.
We just talked about at the beginning that has those seminars, has those like things, yet his people are going to court and dropping him like a hot potato because they're like, oh shit, I need a real attorney because this is not working.
Like, you told me if I said all this stuff, that my case was going to get dismissed with prejudice.
This is the way I look at Moors. 9 times out of 10, like I said, that first guy, he's probably like a DoorDash driver. These guys don't have the highest of IQs, don't have the highest of education. They want to have a sense of meaning that's higher than what they are. This guy's probably Steve, who works midnights at 7-Eleven. But because somebody told him, you know, hey, if you throw El Bay at the end of your name, if you change your name to yada yada El Bay, like, you can be a big deal. You can be big time. The law won't apply to you. It's like, nah, you're just gonna go to jail with extra steps.
When I was a little kid, I had had this couple that used to babysit me, and one of them was named Steve, and he worked at 7-Eleven. So that was fucking perfect.
Yeah, so like the prototype or the prototypical sovereign citizen or more reads like the background of BSBT, where he just can't seem to, you know, ever make his life worth anything. And because he's doing this, he's just digging his like life lower and lower into the ground. And now he's living with Dirty Mike and the boys down by the river. Like, that's what these guys are all eventually gonna like do.
Did you ever watch the Chappelle Show?
Yeah.
Did you see the Clayton Bigsby one where he was blind? So, do you know who William Potter Gale is?
Sounds familiar.
William Potter Gale is given credit for starting sovereign citizens in modern times, right? Like 1970 something, but he's also affiliated with the KKK. So I've got this stretch of a theory that the first Moore Sovsit was like a Clayton Bigsby type character who
didn't know that he wasn't supposed to be there.
And they're like, well, we can't affiliate with the KKK for obvious reasons. So let's go see what the Shriners are doing, grab some fez and
make my own nonsense.
I'm gonna get in trouble for that one.
They put tinfoil inside those fezzes. No, they actually put horse shit inside.
I've got a couple crocheted ones I gotta find. They're somewhere around here too. Self-made or handmade fez.
Total, I forget how much I spent on that. But like I said, I remember that Social Security trust was being the big one. And after that, it's like, come on, man. Just the Social Security trust was so thick. I'm like, man, you don't know none of this stuff, man. You don't even know what you're doing. I'm registered in the register of deeds, you know, and I don't even know what it is. And what else I do? Just a bunch of little stuff that come with that, you know. I forget. This was 2006, 2000,
I
yeah,
got dreadlocks.
2006. And not to mention, you know, I drove to North Carolina. I did it in North Carolina. So, you know, that trip. But it's all a learning experience. It's all a part of my journey. Basically, what really sparked it was, and it kind of scared me, was like I said, when I came back from North Carolina, I had plates. Put them plates on. I'm getting pulled over by the police. I'm going over my literature. You know,
What really sparked is that I actually got in trouble.
I was driving with bad plates and shockingly got pulled over by the police. Who'd have thunked it?
Who'd have thunked it? Hey, Colin Raiders, what's up? Thanks for the raid. I thought you streamed earlier on Thursdays. Oh, but then again, your schedule changed again. Hey, man, thanks for the raid, dude. I appreciate it. What's up? What's up, Colin Raiders? We're talking about the Moors right now and the real Moors. Well, yeah. But then again, KFR mentioned there we might have missed a more civil war somewhere in there.
Yeah, a kerfuffle in the 1928-29 region.
Oh, okay.
A lot of people died. I missed that war too.
Yeah, I like the Shriners. I'm just saying that the reason I mentioned the Shriners is the first time I've ever seen anybody wear a fez.
Yeah, they fake joined the Shriners just to get access to their fezes, and then they immediately left.
Yeah. And we did the David Windmiller Quantum Grammar King of Hawaii Conqueror of the World right before this. All right. Oh, you know what? I think I'm done with this guy. All right, let's play the video I really want to play. I didn't realize this one might have been taken from Showtime, so you know, this is for reaction and blah 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 purpose.
Interest in Moorish nationalism continues to grow.
They say that they have ancestral rights to the land here.
Moorish Americans don't do those kind of things, and it's written in our laws.
Moorish nationals don't believe they were ever citizens to begin with.
The
rules are wrong in the first place. Is it okay to break them? What is it exactly that you all want?
Freedom.
Oh, that's the Attorney General or whatever.
I will never understand this shit.
No, I don't think they understand it.
I think that last guy knocked it out of the park really well when he's like, yeah, my Social Security trust, it was like a packet like this thick. And I'm like, man, you don't know what that says. I think he just summed up the entire Moorish American movement with that statement.
I paid all this money. I listened to all this crap. I realized I should have played it like 30, 40 more seconds to the point where he said it didn't work. Yeah, let me skip that part. All right, this is about a stolen house thing again.
The thing I like about this neighborhood is every single house seems to have its own little bit of charm. Just being a single woman trying to compete with a lot of these couples, I lost out on about 13 houses before I came across this one. When I walked in the door, I was like, this is my house. So whatever I can do to get it, I'm gonna get it. You guys, I'm not even kidding. This is the literal SWAT team that was called.
Shanetta Little was finalizing construction plans on her first home when a stranger changed the locks and told her that the house she bought was actually his.
They call themselves Moors. They basically say that they have ancestral rights due to a lot of treaties and tribunal law, that they have rights to the land here.
So you buy this place, you have this amazing vision for it, and all of a sudden you get a letter?
Yes. I got 2 letters, actually. The first one I got from Jaleel Hugh L. There were like seals and fingerprints and
That looks like real fingerprints
So
inner
I just
body
want to point
stuff.
this out. I used to work at Office Depot. Shit, like 5 seconds after I got out of the military because I was bored while going to school. You can literally go in and get seals like that made and ordered
Yeah.
by the boatload. You can get stamps made with whatever bullshit you want on there, depending on how big you're willing to go and pay for. And I think I've actually heard about this case, not through this video, but through another video, because this sounds super familiar. And it's crazy that you're talking about, or you're showing this video about them trying to take a house, because last month I covered 2 different times where
me too.
they tried to do, and I'm just like, whoa.
2.
It's so I think we covered the lady in that house where she paid somebody $4,000 and she basically tried to steal what was it, $575,000 house.
Yep.
And it's just like, ma'am, at what point do you sit back and go, yeah, this makes sense? This adds up.
Yeah, $500,000+ house that was completely vacant on the MLS for sale, and then another one that was very much occupied with stuff and furniture, and somebody who watches the house, and they only paid $100
from the old lady.
Yeah.
They tried to move in with like a Penske truck.
Yeah. They only paid $100. They snuck in through the back door, changed the locks, filed their fake deed of trust. 2. And I got a feeling we're gonna see a lot more of these. Usually when these body cam channels lock down on a topic, they're gonna look for more.
As soon as it gets some views, they're gonna keep going back to that well until it's dry.
So apparently this one's in New Jersey. Apparently this is happening everywhere, but that to me looks like it's real blood. Just throwing that out there.
I think that what's it called? The Penske truck one. I think that was in New Jersey.
Was it?
I know the single lady who got arrested and then
Florida.
vetoed. I know that, that was not New Jersey, but I think the other one was New Jersey.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
I think I looked up the adverse possession laws in New Jersey for that type of situation. And they tried to like do it in a day, and it takes like a decade or more.
Right. Because it was that. Yep. 7 years in New Jersey. That's right. Yeah. Adverse possession. 30 years in New Jersey, 7 years in Florida. Oh, we shouldn't have to know. We shouldn't know that stuff, by the way.
Signatures basically saying that my home was on someone else's ancestral lands. I ignored it the first time, and they sent me another letter saying because I didn't respond, now we own this house. The third time,
got a rebuttal to this.
Hit the fan. So they sawed off the locks, put their own locks on. He's now occupying the home.
How do they get him out of the house?
Oh, they busted the door down and they basically dragged him out. And it was really scary. Like, I applied for a gun license. I got pepper spray,
She should have recorded it.
Wow.
It was really traumatizing.
Yep.
Police officers still reeling from a deadly attack. 3 officers were shot and killed.
The manhunt is on for this man, a career criminal considered very armed and very dangerous.
In recent years, isolated and random incidents of violence, fraud, burglary, and squatting committed by Moorish extremists have put Moors on the radar of law enforcement nationwide.
A Newark home taken over by an alleged extremist group that not only changed the locks, but actually claimed ownership over the property.
The man who occupied Shanetta's home was never charged and still maintains the land belongs to him. We did our best to speak with him, but he demanded to be paid. So that interview didn't happen. So what is going on? Historically, Moors are renowned as...
But that interview didn't happen.
That should be very telling, because if you think your argument and your paperwork is good enough to take somebody's house because it's on your ancestral land, I would be getting interviewed by everybody and their cousin trying to get my story out.
Oh yeah.
I'm just kind of glad that I know in a lot of states, not every state, but in a lot of states, mainly in the South, they're really cracking down on squatting, where instead of having to take them to court and it lasts, X amount of months, years, whatever. They're just like, oh, this seems like breaking and entering. We're just gonna go get him right now.
Yeah, luckily they're cracking down on some of those landlord-tenant laws, because especially the squatters' rights stuff, because those will intersect in scenarios like this in a way that benefits nobody.
Yeah.
Well, other than some people are trying to get away with some shit. Do you know anybody? Okay, so I do this all day, every day. You do this all day, every day. Have you ever come across somebody that has no idea what a sovereign citizen is?
Yes.
And then you try to
Only
explain it.
because- Yes, and it's the most awkward thing in the world because people can't believe that there are people in the world that stupid.
Right.
Like when I had the
Right.
guy come to set up my security cameras and the guy come to set up my internet, and he's like, "Oh, you seem to have gotten like our best package. Why do you need this?" And then I have to explain what I do. He's like, "There's no way." And I'm like, funny story. Yeah, they're everywhere now. And the security guy's like, "Oh, why are you getting all these cameras? Why are you getting all these sensors on your house?" And I'm like, "Well, what I do for work is this." Great stories.
Yeah, and then you have to explain the whole freaking thing, and
Yeah.
it's just strange. Like we can watch this stuff all day, every day, and it's just another one, same stuff, another one, same stuff, another one, same stuff. We both played the one at the dealership where it ended a little differently than it normally does. And then there's the recent videos where the house thefts. But when I explain it to people that most of the people that I know don't watch this kind of stuff. So I feel like I have to explain it every time. And I'm shocked that you see stuff like this in the news, but then you talk to people close to you and they're like,
So does
you do what now?
Does your family know about what you cover and what you do? Like, do you have to explain to them what you're covering?
Oh, my wife gets it, and that's all I really care about. She gets it. She doesn't care for soft sits. She doesn't really like to watch body cam at all. She likes some of the Karen stuff, but no, the soft sits just irritate her.
Yeah, nothing. I think I've gotten lucky. Like you go to like a birthday party for like a family member, and then you see people who you haven't seen in a while, and they're like, "Oh, what are you doing for work now?" And thankfully, like a ton of my family's in law enforcement, so there's like sovereign citizens. Yeah, fuck those guys. And it's just like, okay, cool. I don't have to explain it.
Yeah. I unfortunately I've got to explain it pretty much. I started to explain it for a while, and then I gave up pretty quickly. But my wife has a family member who I would put in the soft sit category. I'm 95% sure. So when I try to explain it to some people in her family, I say, well, it's basically this person. And then they get it.
Yeah. I feel like at this point, everybody's got that aunt, uncle, cousin that like when they come to Thanksgiving, they have to sit at the kids' table because you're just like, get out of my face.
Legal Fiction, thank you so much for the 20 gifted memberships. You're awesome, dude. It's good to see you. I appreciate you jumping over and bringing the raid with you. You're awesome. And Naybell, thank you so much for the 4 months. I think I've been monetized for super chats and memberships for 4 months. So that would put you at the beginning, Naybell.
I see. I mentioned a birthday party. Yes, turns out if you invite children to a children's birthday party, some people that I cover think that's weird.
Yeah. I saw all that shit.
I'll never understand.
Well, dude, the small world of YouTube. By the way, this guy's got an awesome beard.
Is that a turban or is that his hair?
I'm gonna go with yes.
Couldn't tell.
Well, shit, now I want to know.
Is an incredibly powerful and influential group of North Africans. They once controlled an empire that included modern-day West Sahara, Algeria, Tunisia, and Spain. But many Moors believe that the Moroccan Empire expanded all the way to the Americas, making
But
all
it
black
didn't.
people ultimately indigenous to an America that predates the United States altogether.
Also,
For most
can
of
I
the
point something out? A lot of the shit that they conquered in Africa and the Middle East is like, congratulations, you ruled desert where no one lived. You know what I mean? It's like, yes, you controlled that area, but if there's nobody in that area to say otherwise, like, it's not as much of an accomplishment as you think. But then they're like, yeah, we conquered the desert, but we also conquered all of North and South America. No big deal.
Yeah, you had some land, but it sucks, so it doesn't count. That's
Yeah, like
basically what I
nobody's
just
there.
heard.
If nobody's fighting you over the land, it should tell you how little that land matters.
1 million Moors across America today, that's just their origin story. Many attend one of the official Moorish science temples and peacefully study their own Quran. But for others,
Peacefully.
it's more than just a religion. Their indigenous identity means land rights, citizenship, and living under U.S. laws are all called into question.
Why is that not the first thing you want to do? Realign yourself with your ancestry. Realign yourself with the great God Allah. Realign yourself with your birthright and your culture.
I want you to write this down so that for anyone who thinks they can challenge this information, it's available.
Where do I know this guy from? Oh, Moors in America on YouTube. This channel's still around, isn't it?
I think so. There's a bunch of like little niche Moorish channels on YouTube, but they're kind of like the sovereign citizen pages on YouTube where they might get popular for like a few years and then charges catch up to them. You know, they don't want to deal with it anymore, so they kind of just stop posting videos.
No, is that his hair?
All scholars know this stuff.
Look up and be more enlightened to what's out there.
There are many independent,
OG
nonviolent
Fed
Moorish
Alpha.
organizations across the U.S. who believe they were colonized and that state laws shouldn't apply to them. One of them is the Rise of the Moors.
Disruptive and combative. They're all members of the Rise of the Moors, an anti-government sovereign citizen movement.
This is a group that does not believe it needs to follow the law.
Jaleesa and her husband are founding members of this
All right, this is my least favorite one.
Rhode Island-based group who believe that the state doesn't have jurisdiction over them. You all have been called sovereign. You all have been called anti-government. Do any of those terms ring true?
No. I think people like a good villain, and I think that it's really a lack of understanding of what we're doing.
What are the charges? What am I being arrested for?
Last summer, 11 members, including Jaleesa's husband Jamal, were arrested while en route to a militia
Good old
training and
Jamal.
camping trip. None of them could produce government driver's licenses or gun permits for their weapons. Help me understand you all's relationship with the United States of America.
We, Moors, don't have anything to do with United States government because we don't belong. We belong to
just
the
live
Moroccan
here.
Empire. We want to have
Yeah,
our own
you
separate
just live in
nation,
America.
our own separate government, hospitals, towns, schools, daycares, our own police. You know, we're getting our rights violated left and right on the streets constantly. Black History Month. What do they show on TV or in school? It's always so-called black people getting the hose, getting mauled by dogs. It's nothing uplifting at all. It's never, look at what you were, look at what you can be. It's always like, this is what you are and this is what you're always going to continue to be. It's a form of propaganda and brainwashing.
According to Jaleesa, the perfect storm of civil unrest, police violence, and systemic racism are attracting new members, people who are sick and tired of the status quo and frustrated at the treatment of people who look like them. What is it exactly that you all want?
Freedom, to not be oppressed, to not have life so hard to live, to just come together and establish our actual own government and our own everything.
Until then, Moors and non-Moors live side by side, sharing taxpayer-funded public resources. But in an effort to increase economic mobility and establish precedent for autonomy, Moorish nationals are leveraging lawsuits to further their agenda. These goals are enough to classify them as anti-government by the
Leveraging lawsuits to further their agenda. Lawsuits that never win. Leslie says, I wish they weren't here if they can't follow the law. Well, I get that point, but then again, it adds to the YouTube entertainment value if they are here. Although they could be in a different country and we could still do the same thing.
I call Moors and sovereign citizens job security at this point.
Yeah.
There's never a shortage of dumb people who fall for dumb shit. Mark in Real on your channel makes a great point. They don't like supplying, real ID for driver's license, their taxes, yada, yada. But if they're cashing a social security check, getting food stamps, they are, yep, here's my ID. It turns out I do have a driver's license. I do have a state ID. If they're getting something from the United States government, they will ID. Other than that, they like this lady pretends that she doesn't live in America. If you want to go move back to Morocco, it would be my guess. Let me know how that turns out for you.
Right. And then there's the whole infrastructure thing, which just pisses me off so much.
From what I understand, even Morocco doesn't claim these people.
No, they don't.
Like, if the country you're trying to like roll with is like, no, Argentina, you can have them. You take anybody. That's a World War II joke. Yeah, it turns out if the country you're trying to rock with doesn't fuck with you, maybe you should take that as like a hint of like, oh, am I wrong?
If somehow, some way, a sovereign citizen watches this and decides to listen to us for like almost 2 hours, then it just gets pissed off. The only thing I would say is just try to go somewhere, even within the continental U.S. I mean, probably a desert, maybe a mountain somewhere, and try to live on your own. Bring some people with you, build your own roads. Step away from the established sewage systems, access to water, electrical systems, internet. Try it. See if you still want to be your own country, but it's just so freaking stupid. All right, let's see where this one's going.
The likes of the Anti-Defamation League and law enforcement.
This stuff represents a couple years of just collecting and gathering, and you can be knee-deep in paperwork quickly.
Called paper terrorism by those on the receiving end, Moorish nationals overwhelm court systems with retaliatory lawsuits, liens, and filings, all creating a paperwork hellscape for government officials, most of whom have no idea what they're reading. Lieutenant Flowers, yeah? Alzo.
Good to see you. Nice to meet you.
Thanks for having me. Corey Flowers has been a cop for more than 22 years and has spent time infiltrating extremist groups and training government employees on how to handle them.
All right, good morning, ladies and gents. Good morning. Moorish sovereigns are very heavy into all manner of fraud. A lot of times very complex fraud, like mortgage schemes, postage stamp fraud, credit card fraud, wire fraud, a lot of bank fraud. Paper terrorism, you guys heard of this? You can use physical legal documentation, whether it's putting a lien against somebody else's property, filing a lawsuit against somebody else in order to intimidate.
That they can file a lien against somebody's property. I don't imagine how you'd miss it, but like the fact that, what we just talked about, where the homegirl paid $4,000 for whatever and probably filed a land deed, and the $100 Penske truck people spent $100 to do the same thing, and how most county clerks have to accept all documents. Imagine you go to try to sell your house and you find out somebody's put a $10,000 lien on your house, and you're like, what the hell?
14 L-Bays have random
14 L-Bays
liens on your house, and you're just like, bro, I don't even know this guy.
You have a different L-Bay for every square foot of your house.
Yeah, and it's just like, I want to see a system where anytime you want to file anything like that, the clerk just calls up the owner and says, hey, do you know square root L-Bay? Oh, no, you've never heard of them? Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm not going to accept this. Awesome.
Uncle Dan is a lawyer, and when he says that absolutely happens, I absolutely believe that. I mean, and it's not just sovereign citizens that do shit like that. I mean, it's contractors and other types of people, but that's probably why they're calling this paper terrorism too.
them, particularly in their professional capacity, which definitely creates stress, right? The idea that some folks you guys deal with could impact your livelihood, that's an intimidating thing.
Flowers himself has been on the receiving end of this tactic, which most often
Stolen
targets law
IDs,
enforcement and court personnel.
stolen Social
I'm wondering if
Security.
you can walk me through what this is.
Yeah, so this is a lawsuit against 2 former police chiefs, a couple mayors, me, and this fella's opinion. These are all the people that he believes wronged him legally. So this is a lawsuit for $4 billion or
$4 billion.
$4 billion.
Yeah.
Have you
Just
seen
a nice
an increase?
where power changes, and especially if party changes, you have effectively half of the country that gets into a panic to varying degrees. Panic like that will often drive folks to these movements.
What threat do these folks pose?
When you have a subgroup that just believes the rules don't apply to them at all, like that creates chaos.
There are now almost 3 million messages to the government to recognize Moors as a federally autonomous body of indigenous Americans. But that's not what most Moors want. And distinguishing themselves from that ideology has been a priority for the original Moorish Science Temple of America. There are Moors across the country. We know of groups in
Back
Rhode
to these
Island and
guys.
New Jersey, but neither of those groups are part of the Moorish Science Temple of America, which are like the OG Moorish Americans. We came here to their headquarters.
There's that same
to speak
guy.
to the Supreme Grand Sheik to see if he thinks these splinter groups are legit and if their practices are in line with their Moorish teachings. The Moorish Science Temple of America was founded in 1913 by Noble Drew Ali, who taught that all black people were stripped of their national identity and Islamic faith through racist oppression. At its peak in the 1920s, it boasted upwards to 35,000 members who aspired to uplift a fallen humanity. We've come to Sunday school to learn from the 8th
35,000 people in the 1920s is a large social movement.
And even then, I think it's probably those were one group of 35,000. Where now I don't think it's anywhere near as large, like the OG Moorish Science Temple of America. But I feel like there's probably more in just tiny little groups, because I know the rise of the Moor people on the highway with Jamal. I think there was almost like a dozen or more guys who got arrested in that one incident.
Yep.
I got to think there's just as many dumb people. I've seen a lot of drawn his blank on his name. Somebody's going to hit me up in the chat and absolutely roast me that I forgot this guy. I think it's this older guy in Chicago, goes into police departments all the time. He gets arrested because he just goes in there, acts crazy, and talks Moorish nonsense. Somebody's going to know exactly who I'm talking about because I've covered him a bunch of times. But yeah, he just goes in, says a bunch of nonsense. There's
Does he have
probably
dreads?
more. I don't think so. I want to say he's bald-headed, but he's older and crazy. If you see one video of him, you're going to go, yep, I know exactly who that is.
Eric, thank you so much for the $5 super chat.
We appreciate it.
Only suffering through this because it's two of my favorite YouTube gents. Thank you so much, Erica. Yeah, I had to do it, you guys. I really had to do the David Windmiller thing, and then Kfar. The guy had to add a Mexum to that freaking thing, right? If he didn't, honestly, I wouldn't even wanted to do any of this if he didn't add a Mexum, just to show that some people consider there's a difference between.
I run into a ton of those random Moorish nonsense, Moorish plates, Moorish IDs. I think I have one that came out today where a guy had 2 Moorish passports that were different color. One was red, one was black, but they were clearly like not real. And he was trying to flex like he had multiple passports. And it's just like, cool, I have a printer too. Like,
I got 2 IDs.
Yeah, it's like, bro, that's not the flex you think it is. That's like the why am I drawing a blank on these people's names? The dude out of Nevada. Kim Blandino with his
yeah.
His passport from the Kingdom of Israel, which isn't a place.
I'm trying to find
Shout
this
out.
freaking
Point of personal pride. Kim Blandino has commented on my page before.
what?
And no big deal. No big deal.
Yo, he was in court recently. Did you catch that one?
I did.
He Kim Blake. So I started up until I started considering going back to law school. I pretty much stuck with snowboard, skateboard, breakdance videos on YouTube. And I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll go back to law school. And then I noticed like there's a whole bunch of law channels. I'm like, yeah, let's see what they're doing. And then I ran into Law Talk with Mike, and he was like kind of at the tail end of a heavy Blandino time period. So I caught Blandino super late. I was trying to add something to the screen, and I forgot what I was trying to do. I think this one's on your side.
My name drop is Kim Blandino. Erica Boren XOXO. Yeah, you're lucky we didn't give you 9 hours of quantum grammar. You're lucky. Count yourself lucky.
You know, I've been threatening to play that soft sit convention for a while. I still want to do it because Cam's there, and then also the penis guy's there, Pickletarian guy. I always forget his freaking name.
Oh, Pickletarian. Fuck. I can see it.
Yeah, he looks like a penis.
Already covered him.
Yeah, already debated him.
Like yeah. Oh, fuck. I don't remember his name, but I know who you're talking about. Brandon Williams.
That's it. Yeah. Yeah.
The chat never lets me down.
Hey, what's up, Colin? Hey, I don't know if you're in here, but I was saying I thought you streamed earlier on Thursdays, but then again, I think you moved or you're not where you were. So, hey, thanks for the raid though. I really appreciate it, dude. You're the man. Fuck, what was I gonna do? Oh, this is in the Moorish Decree. All members must obey the laws of government because being a Moorish American, you are a part and parcel of the government and must live the life accordingly. So that's like the real Moorish Science Temple.
Yeah, and that even goes back to that's right out of the Treaty of Peace and Friendship.
Mm-hmm.
Where it's worded a little bit differently, but it's like if you are in X amount of place, you have to follow that place's rules. Deal with it. So it's maybe the OGs were like, okay, we're going to take what this is about. We're going to rewrite it to fit our like religious organization. And that's just what we're going to be. But then it seems like some people came in after the fact, read it, instead of reading it this way, they turned the page this way, got really drunk and tried to read it. And they're like, nah, we don't like those rules.
I'm totally zoning out. Did I do this one? I did this one, didn't I? Legal Fiction?
Yeah, I think you did.
I was like, I know I played it in my head a few times. So if I didn't, thank you again, Legal Fiction. I was like so focused on like what the next video I'm gonna play. Did you get this one?
Yes, I did.
All right. Oh man. I think I was looking for that picture.
So I'm probably going to be moving my office to an upstairs room. Right now I'm on the main floor, but it's a fairly large room. I'm moving into the smallest room in the house because I'm a nice guy. I think I'm going to buy a full-size gold fringed flag and hang it on the wall.
Yes, absolutely. That would be awesome.
As every good American should.
Which would make it a no flag, basically.
Yeah.
Lynn, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. These people make me want to poke my eyes with a sharp pencil or a super sharp crayon. Thank you so much, Lynn. It's a good. Yeah, I mean, I could have played the 9-hour video from David Windmiller or there's so many of these guys out there. I've got this Soft Sit 101 on my channel that has a few of them, including Jerry freaking Kane.
Do you remember the guy? I think it may have been before you started covering this. It was a few years ago. It was a guy who pretended to be the Attorney General of Georgia. I think it was Georgia, and he got like arrested in Hawaii, and they were going to extradite him back for breaking a bunch of laws.
In court, is a court video, right?
Yeah, it's a court video.
Fezes.
No fezzes. No fezzes.
I remember the Soft Sit dude from Hawaii.
Oh, the guy who came in like a robe and like had a staff. That court video guy.
No, it was a Moor, but he didn't have a robe.
Yeah, there's a guy who came in and was like in full, like almost like Hawaiian garb, pretending to be like something high up in Hawaiian culture, and that's why they couldn't prosecute him.
I wonder if that was David Wynn Miller or one of his followers. Oh man, I feel like I had something else, but that's plenty. Uncle Dan, thank you so much for the $5 super chat. YouTube won't let me offer my preferred approach to dealing with these folks. We can only guess what that is, but I'm gonna have you jump on the show one day to tell me. Well, I think that's all I got, man. I can't really unpack the David Wynn Miller anymore without just going down a whole nother rabbit hole.
Yeah, because you'd have to go down a rabbit hole, and then you'd have to whack yourself in the head with a baseball bat a few times, and then you'd just be like, I get it. I understand.
Yeah, and if you guys and please, you guys, if you look into the David Wynn Miller stuff, please don't try to understand quantum grammar. It's not
worth it.
It's not gonna help. Don't try to understand sovereign citizens because they don't understand themselves.
Yeah, that Moore, basically, like I said, I had a stack this big, and he didn't understand it. I didn't understand it, but I still filed it. Even they don't get it, guys.
If you're on my channel and you don't know KFR, you haven't been over to KFR's channel, please check out KFR's channel. KFR's the man. Wait, hold on. I got one more question. Did you get kicked out of that UCC 103 group?
Yes and no.
Okay. So you got kicked out, but then you went back in with somebody else?
Yeah, I went in with my Reading the Room account. And I've made sure I don't talk anymore. My problem was I kept correcting that like Mel whoever who's like a super high up person in the group. And that's who kicked me out, I think. That's who kicked me out or blocked me.
K-Bar's got an excellent series of shorts called I don't know, something to do with his experience with the UCC 103 group and Facebook.
Yeah, it's a
every one of them are amazing.
I actually think they made it private now, or like invite only.
Oh, so I'm still good. Shit, that means that
my new account barely made the cut. It was like a few days before, or a few days after I joined.
Damn, yeah, I'm still in it.
They figured somebody was making videos and they're trying to stop it. It's not gonna work. What was it? I think I actually got that Mel person in one of my shorts from a few days ago saying something along the lines of certified mail is actually cash and you can use certified mail to buy things. And it's just like, stop it. Stop it. It took all I had not to comment.
Yeah, no, that one was bad. And then when I saw you post that, I wanted to go back and find that so I could comment on it in the group. But the difference between me and you is that you're in there as your channel and I'm in there as me. And I don't want them to know me because I'm pretty sure everybody in that group is on an FBI list. There was another post in there where somebody posted a picture of some type of mail and then on the fringe of the mail it says do not tape or staple, and their post was, what does this mean? So I just reply, do not tape or staple.
It makes it they made it very clear. Like
that group is sick though, man. Yeah. I don't know. That's another tangent. I really appreciate you guys hanging out. K-Far mentioned his second channel, which I was going to get to, which is Reading the Room. Also Boozing Body Cam, which is the K-Far KDZ combo on Fridays and Wednesdays, right?
Wednesdays and Fridays, yeah.
Wednesdays and Fridays.
Unless we get bored, then we just add other days.
Add other days. This is my one and only channel. It's pretty new. I'll be at a year in about, I think I'm like 9 months old. So, and I really appreciate everybody's support in this community. You guys are awesome for watching. And hanging out with us in general. I have a TikTok under Grammar Camp, but you'll see all the same stuff you see on Facebook anyway, or not Facebook, YouTube. I know my check keeps telling me to check my mail. So just so you guys know, my mailbox, my address is not at home. So I have to go get it tomorrow. Apparently my mod sent me something, but they didn't mail it to my house. They think they mailed it to my house, but it's not my house.
He's sneaky.
Sorry, not sorry. I know, but it's not at my house. That's all I got, man. Oh, no. I got one more thing. Real quick. Had to do it. All right. Closing words from KFAR.
I got absolutely nothing. I'm slacking this week, trying to plan for the new office move. So I have almost no content out. I think I got a couple shorts and a video already out for Saturday. Other than that, I don't have anything on any other channel.
Awesome. Yeah, just hit the notification button and we'll come up with something. I think I've got a couple court pieces that I'm going to do. And then somebody somewhere is going to come up with something awesome on body cam. That's about all I've got, man. I appreciate you hanging out with me, dude.
No problem at all. I enjoyed it. It's a different type of crazy that I normally don't get to touch on.
Yeah. I might have to do a part 2, but I don't think I'm going to. All right, you guys. Good night. I appreciate everybody hanging out.
Bye.
I'll see you when I stream. He'll see you when he streams. I'll take you out with the take you want to take.
I am not, but if that's what you want to take, I have my friend right there, and I have them on the phone. And if that's what the take you want to take, I have my phone right there too. If that's the take you want to take, then by all means take it. That's fine. Yep. I try to provide identification. You want to take that take too?